Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the room. Welcome back to the ladies' room for today, Tuesday, May 21. Yep, fresh on the heels of a long weekend. Yeah, yesterday being a holiday with Monday, and well, for some of you, it's your first day back to work. But for those of us who are in this business, we had to work yesterday, so it wasn't a long weekend at all. All right, but it's like that sometimes. Anywho's, it's good to have you guys back here, Melvin. We got any lucky dog ring your finger goodbye. Huh? What's she talking about? I have too much important things to talk about today to even take bait with you, Miss Jackie. Oh, Melvin, rich in your thing, in your. Nikisha, good morning. Good morning, Linda. Y'all come on in quickly and share their life because, as y'all saw in the heading, we have a lot to talk about this morning. A lot been making the rounds on the weekend. The video circulating with the police and the woman that lives under the Sundale Tunnel. Diddy coming out with his apology. The pastor with hit and run. Maybe we'll do that one tomorrow because time probably wouldn't permit me to, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and of course the young lady with her man who migrated for greener pastures to take care of his family and found a whole new life over there, and she's now in limbo what to do. A lot to compress in this 30 minutes. So let's move. All right. So let me see if you're not here by 6 past, you're gonna miss the roll call. So share the live, share the live, share the live. Coming in and please share the live. That's all I ask. Good morning, Nakisha. Good morning, Linda. Shante, good morning. Ingrid, Lisa, good morning. Sherry Ann, good morning. Hermelin, Jackie, Chaitan. Don't want to mistake you with the other one over there. Morning, Ann. Good morning to my YouTubers. Good morning, Marianne. Good morning, Gloomer. Good morning, Jackie, Douglas, Adams, Pascal, Troublemaker, whatever. Good morning, Janique. Good morning, Della. Morning, Roxanne. Morning, Naya. Good morning, Naya. Don't come about no hi. When you coming back, I need to know. I need something come down, something small. My small is like small like this. Don't do like Jackie and just come here. Me and you too good for that. Morning, Maureen. Dwight, Green Skin Butter Junior. Good morning. Morning, Queen Bee. Morning, Lydia. Morning, Valerie. Eli Moss, I hear you're coming too. You're supposed to be in Jello Show, so either you or Naya, whichever one reach first. I need something ASAP. And like I said, it's like this small, a little tube. It's my makeup thingy. So Eli Moss, I hear you coming here. What the fuck, I'm here. I see you on flyer. So I guess you're going to be here soon. You see your Canadians fast? Morning, Maria. Morning, Jay. Glendolyn, good morning. It was nice seeing you on the weekend. Looked lovely as always. Morning, Betty Ann. Good morning. Where's Claude? Mr. Crony. I never see you on my live. You are day off today or something, but I saw you pass this morning, so you probably get a little break. Anyways, morning, Mr. Claude Latouche. I didn't see your wife yet, but she's somewhere thereabouts, I guess. Morning, Carol. Morning, Sanaya. Morning, Listra. Morning, Carrington. What up, bro? Hope you're good. Morning, Nissy, Michelle, Wayne. There's a lot of Michelles. Michelle Douglas, Michelle Charles. Good morning, Bigger Ford. You good? All right. I'm going to do that, Elimus. Anyways, so I'm not going to stick because, like I said, we have a lot to talk about this morning. And let me just play this first before I give my piece. Of course, for the past week, we all saw that video on CNN with which showed what's his face, Sean Diddy, Puffy, whatever Combs. Video started circulated on social media with him physically abusing his then girlfriend Cassie. But prior to that, you see how man does lie? Not so long ago, the news came out of Cassie suing Diddy for an undisclosed sum of money and in it were a lot of allegations that, well, then we thought it with as allegations, referring to her time with him, abuse, and all sorts of things were part of that suit. And it was quickly settled in it wasn't even 2 business days, in less than 48 hours. It was signed, sealed, delivered, undisclosed sum, but I know it was a good sum, a good change that she got. And the internet came at her, and saying this, that, and the other, and standing with Diddy, and wanting to bring down another black man, and Diddy himself was like, his lawyers put out legal notices saying their client, basically saying he's a good upstanding man in the community, and he even had a post not so long ago that time will tell. Well, Diddy, time certainly do tell, and one thing we can't run from is time, no matter how hard we try. And as they always say, what's in the dark always come to light. And I'm sure that Diddy never thought that this video would ever see the light of day. Hence his, and to see Diddy trying to eat humble pie. Let me show you guys this video first, and then we'll come back. Wayne, viewing from Trinidad. Okay, big up yourself. Well, somebody said we need to cancel Diddy, but we are being so fast because his Instagram page, I think it was, or his X page, he had like 20 million followers. And when I went to look at it, he was down to about 19. So that means he lost about 1 million followers. I'm not sure if he's going to lose more, but time will tell. And not only that, as someone in the comments was saying we need to cancel Diddy, block him off, and somebody was saying, listen, I'm way too curious, I'm way too nosy to block him. I need to know what's going on. I need to be I'm like, yeah, kind of have a point. You can watch, you can have him there, but you're not supporting anything he does. I saw another company canceling all his music or something like that. I opened it this morning and I got a call, and then I went back and I couldn't remember what page I saw it on, but some music was canceling all his music, playing all his music or something of the sort. And hold on, let me play this. I had to cut off the front because he had like an obscenity in it, so I had to sort of cut it out. But where is it? Here's Mr. Diddy in full effect, basically, and then we'll talk.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Truly sorry to who to begin with? I mean, I'm all for second chances. I'm all for grace, because at the end of the day, we're all humans, and one time or the other, we might need somebody to give us a second chance. I'm not here to pass judgment on nobody, because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. We all have done our share of whatever. But it's when you own up to something and accept responsibility, accountability for your actions. That way, you're able to be given second chances and forgiveness. All of what Diddy said there was like, I don't know who advised him to do that, but I would not have done that. And if I were to do it differently. Because it sounded like, okay, I'm sorry I got caught. I'm sorry this is out for you to see. I didn't mean for you guys to see this. At no point in time I got a sense of, even though he came on with a puppy face and I still didn't get that sense of humbleness, and I'm coming before you guys, my fans, my followers, women and whoever, my daughters and my family, and I'm asking you guys, you don't need to ask for forgiveness. There's only one person you need to get forgiveness from. But the person who you really need to be apologizing to was Cassie. And he couldn't even call her name and say, what was her name then? Ventura, whatever. Cassie, I am sorry. Look at her through the screen. Hold his head up and say to her, I am deeply sorry for everything I put you through. I'm sorry for whatever. He didn't even call her name. I'm sorry. He's what, disappointed. He was disgusted then. If you were disgusted then, wouldn't you, when the young lady came out, that was your opportunity there and there to say, listen, yes, I did some unspeakable things to you. I own up to it, and yes, I owe you. Money cannot take away the pain that I caused you, but here, at least, I hope it will bring you some measure of comfort. But I accept responsibility for what I did to you, for what I put you through. But Diddy was loud and strong back then, saying that it is not true. That those things in time will show that people are just looking for a payday, basically. Knowing full and well, he did those things. Diddy put out that apology video, and you would think Cassie was the one who beat him and abused him. I'm coming out. I'm disgusted by what I did. The man didn't even... He was acting as though Cassie was the one who beat him and abused him, instead of the other way around. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. What he said? I went and sought out professional help. I'm going to therapy, or I got into therapy or something like that. I'm going to rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. Did you ask Cassie for her grace and forgiveness? I'm so sorry, but I'm committed to being a better man. When weeks ago you were loud and strong. And such each and every day, I'm not asking for forgiveness, but I'm truly sorry. He kept on telling us about him. He kept on telling us about him. Right? He kept on telling us about it, and up to now, I didn't hear Cassandra, Cassie, Elizabeth Ventura, whatever is her name, and the other women, men, beasts, whatever it is, that I have wronged. I'm sincerely sorry, and I apologize. Dude was acting like this was his first time, So the same energy we had for Robert Kelly, R. Kelly, we need to maintain that same energy for people like Diddy, who hide behind power and money and what have you. I was disappointed with that, because when I heard that there was an apology, the speed I went to his page with, I made sure I had to sit and I'm like, okay, let me see what this is about. And thank God I didn't go to the comments first. I'm like, let me listen, because the comments will literally tell you, don't waste your time. So I'm like, let me listen to this first. And in the first 2 seconds, Diddy opening his mouth, I was disappointed. I'm like, what is this? This is an apology? Like, seriously? You didn't even make no mention. It's all it was I. Narcissistic behavior. I. Trying now to save his image and make himself look good in the public domain, when you had people dragging that young lady, saying she was a liar and she just wanted money and, for herself and her husband and yada, yada, yada. When this lady when I saw that video, I literally cringed. I'm like, wow, what a man. A big, how many pounds man? And Cassie is no big woman. She's petite. Kicking a woman on the ground. You can't even kick your dog like that in the US. Kicking and dragging her. And you're going to come out now, this little sad story. Oh, but you're disgusted then and disgusted now. But weeks ago you were loud at but nothing of the sort. And you're innocent and because you thought you paid her off, but that was it. And based on the news, it seems as though he also paid the hotel where this occurred $50,000 to make this go away. But apparently didn't go anywhere. Nobody's gonna listen. That is somebody. Some are saying the feds probably found it when they went to his home and leaked it. Because they said, according to the report, apparently he paid $50,000 for the video because it was caught on CC camera, and not there wasn't any audio, but you can see him, dude, running down the hallway in his towel to catch this young lady. So imagine if that was on camera, and you would think Diddy would know you're in a hotel, the hallways, etc., always have cameras. It's not like they're in your room, but the hallways for security purposes always have cameras. And dude didn't care. Dragged her, kicked her, slapped her, and had people out here dragging the lady, saying she's just looking for money. You should spend your life paying her and others. She should have gotten more. She should have gotten shares in your companies, whatever you have, more than whatever cash that you thought. The man didn't even say, like I said, then and there was the opportune time. According to TMZ, legally, Diddy cannot call Cassie's name in public. Okay, well, if that's the case, then he probably could have said the young lady in the video. If he can't call her name, he probably could have referred to her, to the young lady in the video, seen in the video, and that you're aware of is in the video. And maybe even go on to say, I cannot call her name for legal reasons, but I want to apologize to her. Instead of this, whatever that was, making it all about him. It was more to save face and his image, which is tumbling down like a deck of cards. And you know what's sad? Because they always say, to whom much is given, much is expected. And you're seeing what happened to the likes of R. Kelly. Power is a hell of a thing. Power and money is a hell of a thing. It's like a drug. And when some people get it, they don't know what to do with it. It's like they figure, you know what? Money can buy their way out of everything. They're exempt from every whatever. Judy's what Cat Williams said. Listen, Cat Williams said it. When he said it in January, and from since then, everything is coming to light. Everything is coming to light. Cat Williams says 2024, the year of truth. Yo, 50 Cent is having a field day with it, because 50 and Diddy, they're not friends. And any chance 50 gets to drag him, he takes it. Based on what's his name? Diddy was with his child's mother, and some yada yada yada. But 50 takes every opportunity, and I'm here for it. It's like you don't even know somebody personally, but you're just disappointed. And I'm happy to see celebrities coming out and speaking on this. I saw Charlamagne the God on Hot 98, Hot 97, yeah. Came out and, he didn't play. He made Diddy the donkey of the day. He didn't play with Diddy, Like he said, a big man like that beating on a woman. Speaking of which, let me go into my next part. It's already 23 past. You see me and Somalia? We have this habit of when we condone things based on who is doing it. And far as I'm concerned, when something is wrong, it's wrong, irrespective of who did it, done it, doing it. It's just wrong. There's nothing wrong with supporting somebody, but letting them know straight up you're wrong. And I'm glad that when I had my own, that people were able to say to me, you were wrong. And accepting that you were wrong. But we defend things based on who it is doing it, when wrong should be wrong across the board, irrespective of who's doing it. Now, let me start by saying kudos to the RGPF. I think we have one of the best in the region in terms of their ability to solve crimes and, to relate to the public. I'm not saying they're perfect, but we still have to commend them. They do a pretty decent job. Some of the issues that you see happening even in the region, we don't really have that. And they do a pretty good job. But like with everything else, there's good, bad, and ugly in everything. And there are highs and lows. And when somebody do something good, you commend them. When they do something bad, you're going to criticize them. So another video was circulating with the police officer. And let me just say this, because y'all, when you carry news, y'all always say what people don't say. As a matter of fact, thank God it's on record, so he can probably hear for himself. And I don't mean any ill will or anything of the sort. But, again, I always have to make reference to myself. When you're in the public, you have to deal with criticism. You have to deal with a whole bunch of things. I don't know him personally, but I know him off social media. I've seen him, follow his page. And, he's a funny guy who has a lot of nice content and what have you. And he seems to be a decent person, He seems to be a pretty decent person, jovial person, family-oriented person and all of that, which is well and good. But sometimes it's hard to tell a whole story from a couple seconds of a clip or a couple seconds that somebody starts filming something and not the whole thing, what lead up and all of that, but you can only go on what you see. And let me just say this, right? 2 wrongs don't make a right. No time at all. And to see women, especially women, defending this, it kind of 2 wrongs don't make a right. He was wrong. She was wrong. But you see this thing we call ego? Our egos will be the death of us if we don't sometimes stop and think about it, or think about the consequences of it. Our egos can really do a number on us. I was taught, and it's always said, that if you come in contact with the police and they give you a directive, you comply. If it's against something, you take it up after. They ask you to accompany them to the police station. You go, and then you file a complaint, or you lawyer up and do whatever. It's always said that. But sometimes some things are easier said than done, again, when people egos and people feel, okay, here I am. I'm not taking disrespect from anybody. I'm not letting anybody diss me. So I'm going to put up a front, even though I know I'm wrong. A lot of us know how to play the wrong and strong game. But be that as it may, in situations when you're given the responsibility, when you're an officer of the law, somebody has to be the responsible one. Somebody has to say, okay, this has the potential to go left. Let me try another method. Everybody getting riled up and angry, especially for something. When I saw it, I was like, but this isn't even... We have bigger problems. We have this serious gun problem. We have youth behaving in a manner that is really unbecoming. We have a lot going on. And when I first looked at it, I'm like, a seatbelt? Did it warrant that sort of reaction? Was it that serious? Or when you could be ticketed and you'll have your day in court, the person is acting up, here's your ticket. You pay a fine, pay for your mouth. Not everything requires, not everything requires this sort of aggressiveness. Not everything requires being aggressive about. And make sure when y'all bringing back the news, make sure I said that she is wrong as well. Because the attitude was not called for. You ask a question, you answer, you keep it pushing. It was not called for at all. But if you're saying that it is okay, and I saw my good friend Terrence, I'm not seeing him in the class this morning, but me and Terrence was going back and forth a bit on social media. I'm like, okay, I'm tired now. I don't do back and forth. There are some people I'm not going back and forth with because, but me and Terrence, we good like that, so I can afford to go back and forth with Terrence. Terry, that is my point. Comply and then move on. But like I said, ego is on both sides. Everybody don't want to be this, everybody don't want to be that. But holding a female by the hand and dragging her out. There were I think I saw about 3 police officers who could have helped in, okay, ma'am, you need to get out of the vehicle. Let us help you out. Even if the 2 of them decided to pull her out, at least she wouldn't be dragged on the ground. And a lot of the times we can say, oh, well, this person should have done that or should do that when we're not in the position. It's always easy to say what a person and how a person should react when we're not in a position. But like I said, all of us were born with egos, some more than others. Some know how to use it, some know how to apply restraint, and others, long as they could put on a show, they'll put on a show. I saw a live, yes, Anik, I saw the live. And again, I would not have done that live if I was in his position either. Because it was fueling the fire. At a point in time, we have to remember we are all part of this community and everybody has family members. So the same way one want to protect their family, the others want to protect their families. And we always talk about what is the job of the police? To protect and serve, right? So I am no way based on some of the things he said, and for those who are doing it, y'all need to stop. Sending messages to his man, family, his wife, or whoever it is, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. The gentleman, if you have a problem with him, deal with him. But in the same breath, in that video, he made points like step up, or who want to. And I was like, no. I could understand you being defensive. You have to defend your family. That is your responsibility. That is your job. But to me, saying that part of it was adding fuel to the fire. And like Diddy, like I said, sometimes we have to humble ourselves and stop allowing ourselves to be ruled by our egos. Sometimes we have to humble ourselves. There are days I feel like coming out and cuss all you, but I'm like, what are I really getting from that? There are times you feel like you have to defend certain things, but at the end of the day, people will, if they're for you, they're for you. They're against you, they're going to be against you. So you could defend until thy kingdom come, until Jesus come. It's not going to change anything, how people feel. So my thing is, at the end of the day, we still have a beautiful country. We still have to respect each other. Police respect civilian, civilian respect police. At the end of the day, police comes from the communities. And that woman also has families who would feel a way about seeing their family member. I'm not sure if she's a mother, she's a whatever, or sister, or aunt, a niece, whatever, being dragged. They may not take kindly to that either. So they would think they need to protect their family member the same way you feel the need to protect your family. Because a lot of the times we do things and we don't really think about, the consequences of our actions. unfortunately, we don't always think about what could happen. We just get upset in the moment, you know? And as I said, he seems like a pretty nice person, nice personality, jovial personality. But when it comes to his job, it's another thing, and we always have to strike a balance. Sometimes we get upset, sometimes, we react without thinking about the consequences of our actions. And I still maintain it was not handled properly, and it wasn't something that serious that warranted that sort of reaction. I honestly don't think it was. And again, I want to say to those of you sending threats or whatever else to this man's family members to stop. His family had nothing to do with this, is not involved in this in any way, shape, or form. So stop. Like we always do things and we don't know what the outcome will be until after the fact. She should have humbled herself in his presence and respected authority, but he should not have let his ego overpower his decision making. So there was no right. There was only wrongs all around. You comply, follow instructions, directives, and then you take it to a lawyer or whatever to deal with your case if you feel you were wronged in any way, shape, or form. But letting it escalate to a point where it ended with you being dragged, there was no right in this case. Nobody was right in this. There was no right in this. Okay, Terrence, you're good. Yeah, that's the same thing I said, Terrence. I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody. Me and you good, so I could do that with you. And I know at the end of the day, no hard feelings. So, yeah, I had to make that point. Because, some people, as soon as you go back and forth with them, they, this person, this, and that. We're all entitled to our own opinions. People have, the right to say what they feel about whatever. And I can't fault anybody for having a different opinion or a different vibe from what I have. But everything in life has a ripple effect. Everything in life has a ripple effect. You do something and you might probably think, oh, what you're doing is right, only to realize. And I'm sure if you sit back sometimes, if we sit back and, pay attention to some of the things or decisions we make, would be like, I really should have handled this better. I could have handled this better. I could do that differently, But once done, it's done. What we can do now is move on, and hopefully we can, deal with situations in a better manner. That would not always have to result in us being aggressive with each other and, getting upset and angry. We have to know, okay, what our triggers are when it's time to count to 10 and step back because you can feel you're getting upset. We have to find some way to be in control of our emotions, because that's what gets us in trouble, when we allow our emotions to take over. And that goes for both, not just for the officer in question, but for both. Because I'm sure, sitting back, she thinks about it, she'll be like, okay, if I had responded differently and if I had just complied, I would not be dragged. And in the same breath, you can say, you know what, maybe if I had taken a different approach and not be so aggressive, we would have a different outcome. So at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong. But both could have handled it differently, both. But again, like I said, knowing the times we live in, we have to try different approaches. We can't approach everything with anger and aggression. Because when you think you're angry, there's somebody else who could get angrier than you. And that is how we have violence, because nobody wants to be in control of their emotions. Nobody wants to be disrespected. Nobody wants to be dissed, or whatever the case might be. Everybody wants to be, okay, well, this man can do this to me, or I'm standing in the presence, so I have to, It's not worth it. It's honestly not worth it. Because I'm sure that's not going to be the end of it. There should be, it could be more than just what we see, So my final word, I just want to say to the person or the persons, whoever it is, sending threats to this man's family, to stop. His family had nothing to do with what transpired. You have a problem with him, take it up with him, or take him to court and let the law do what it's supposed to do. Do not involve the man's family in y'all, whatever. They have nothing to do with this. Deal with him. He's a big man. Wife, woman, whatever it is, has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it. A lot of them like to go viral and think they're right. No, they're not right. It's not right at all. It's like my situation when I slapped the young man. Well, you're not supposed to slap anybody to begin with. But anyways, after trying to get him to chill several times, the amount of fire that burned me after the first video come out. And when the full video actually came out, the first change in mind, think they can see and do whatever to police officers. Well, it's not a matter of saying and doing whatever, because it goes both ways. Because I've seen some who think they can say and do whatever they want to civilians. So that's why I say mutual respect and understanding is supposed to be across the board. Because I'm sure when y'all go to police school or whatever, you're not taught to slap anybody or fight with anybody. It's supposed to learn to de-escalate instead of escalating. And I think that is one of the problems we have. We don't know how to de-escalate. We always escalate and then we have to de-escalate after the fact. But the first thing at the top of anybody's mind when you're in such a position is to de-escalate. And maybe that needs to be taught more, how to de-escalate situations before it gets to that point where you have to slap anybody, manhandle anybody, or fight with anybody. Because if two bodies are flaring up, me and you going at it, what do you think is going to happen? Now, we have a problem if they come and this person is ranting and raving and whatever. Maybe that's what needs to be done. Learning how to, more classes need to be taught on how to de-escalate it. Because remember, you're dealing with humans, you're not dealing with beasts. And the same way as an officer, you don't want to be disrespected. The civilian is saying the same thing. I don't want to be disrespected. You are an ordinary man like me. You just have on a uniform. I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me. What do you think is going to happen? There goes the egos. There goes the egos, one against the other, especially when it's in public. You think as a man you want to be ragged up in public, or anybody ragging you up and speaking to you, speaking down to you in public, and you're just going to stand there with your tail tucked between your leg and your head bowed? Especially in this time? No. No. So, we have to learn to de-escalate. And that's basically my thoughts on it. Like I said, there's no right in the matter. There was no right in the matter, and maybe we need to have more programs, what have you, on the law and knowing your rights and stuff like that. Because a lot of people think, okay, if a police officer asks you to do certain things or ask you to accompany them to the station, that they're in the wrong, or you don't have a right to file a complaint after or something after. And half of the times these things happen because people don't know their rights when it comes to stuff like that. Because one, fighting is just going to add more charges to what you already have. Resisting arrest, among other things, more charges added to. Maybe something simple as, okay, I'm not wearing a seatbelt, which is what, $150 fine? I give you all the story, but I didn't argue with the lady. All I asked her was, oh, okay, I really didn't know, because I wasn't on the phone. It was just in my hand. Because the way my phone is set up, it's through my vehicle. Once a call or anything comes through, it's in my vehicle. So I don't need to be on the phone. But I was just holding the phone. And the warden said, okay, stop me. I didn't even notice her. And I know I saw a flag him and I stopped. And she was like, ma'am, you committing an offense? And I'm like, okay, what's the offense? And she said, you're driving with your device in your hand. And I'm like, but I'm not on it. And she was like, no, you don't have to be on it. It's in your hand. I'm like, well, I didn't know that. And she says, I guess I have to give you a ticket because it's a ticketable offense. And I'm like, okay. I think it was $150, paid my $150, and I went my way rejoicing. There was no way to fight with it. I had it in my hand. I couldn't deny it. It was in my hand. I just wasn't on it, because the minute she stopped me, I was like, look, it's off. It's not even. And she was like, no. Off, on, it's in your hand, and it should not. Your device should not be in your device should not be in your hand under any situation, any circumstance. It's supposed to be resting somewhere in your vehicle, not in your hand while you're driving. All right, okay, ma'am. Have a good day, and kept it pushing. Because, sometimes people like seeing, because I'm sure if I had responded differently, they hear a whole up traffic in Granans and Bacchanal on the pedestrian crossing, me and policewoman in Bacchanal. So let me just have to eat humble pie and go about your business. And I'm sure if she didn't have like the other superiors around, she probably, based on my interaction with her, she probably would have said next time, whatever. It's all about discretion. You use your discretion. You have to learn how to use your discretion in certain situations. I'm sure if she was by herself, maybe, probably, coulda, woulda, shoulda, said, next time, don't whatever, and go about your business. But guess she had to do what she had to do. So I paid my $150. Jane says, anytime I see a police, I just tremble. What are you trembling for? You ain't do nothing, fear no evil. Do no evil, fear no evil. Something like that. What are you trembling for? I think that has to do with, back in the day we had, same as teachers, right? Remember back in our teachers were like older. They were more, we saw them like our mothers, and police officers like the same. They were like older, more mature, men and whatever. Very few women back then used to be in the police force. But we saw them as more, but now you have younger teachers, the same as younger police officers. So, me and the boy go to school. Me and she go to school. Me and who he could tell. Again, the egos. He can't tell me nothing. She can't tell me nothing. Me and she used to go pelt mango together. Me and she used to do this. Me and he used to do this together. And then you have the breakdown of respect. But like I said, it's a two-way street. And it has to be across the board. So, we have some time to learn to use our discretion and not overreact. And finally, we have to learn to de-escalate situations. And if after all that, the outcome is the same, then you do what you gotta do. But for those of you living under the tunnel, have a good day. Those of you living outside or on top, have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you all tomorrow, God's will. Same time. Oh, congratulations to Team Grenada. Look, I almost left and didn't remind you guys. Congratulations, Team Grenada, winning gold again at the Chelsea Flower Show. Also winning the President's Award. Big up Anderson and Team Grenada. Well done. It's an eat humble pie, really. These police officers have no reasoning and instill fear in civilians. I said that before. Maybe you're joining us late, but I did say that before. It's a two-way street. It goes across the board. Can't demand respect. You can't demand respect while disrespecting somebody. It doesn't work that way. And guys, don't forget next week, the night before the holiday, we're going to be on the rooftop, the Aficionados rooftop in True Blue. It's all about Trapped in the 90s, all right? It's a food-inclusive event. I tell you, that's all I'm waiting for, because the menu is on point. So Power DJs, our guest DJ Danny, the Octane Band, they're going to be there. So get your tickets now from Esther's Bar, Grenadian Optical, Lush by Onelia, or you can get it online at GoToFet. Don't miss out. It's going to be a good night indeed before the holiday, the Corpus Christi. I see too many officers in the police, so they're too emotional. Let's see. We're all emotional. Jackie, come off my page. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Y'all are emotional, man. Learn to control your emotions out in the streets.
Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited at Beacon Insurance.